So we have an admin dashboard here, and if you scroll down to where it says management, this is where we're going to set up some sub-companies. Now the idea of setting up sub-companies is so that you can manage a company's staff all in one little portal, that they can see specific courses that you don't want anyone else to see, and that they can purchase, or you can purchase for them, units of online learning on that particular company, and only their staff have access to it rather than just anybody that's linked to your organisation. So we can set up companies for an actual company, but we can also set it up for such as a branch of a company, or we can set it up for things like specific courses so that it becomes like a branch of, say, your company family tree. So for example, if you want people to just do emergency first aid at work training, rather than setting up groups, you might want to set up a sub-company with the name of your company and then emergency first aid at work online training or paediatric online training, and then just have that specific course in there for only certain people to do. I'll show you how that will work now. So if you go down to the management section of your admin dashboard, you've got the orange icons there, and there's one there and it says manage companies. You can also do it under add branch, because like I say, it's thinking about it as being a company family tree, so you could do it in either of those options. I'm going to click on manage companies so that you can see that I've already got some companies set up on my dashboard. So these are all the companies that I've got. So some of them are just test companies, but I'm now going to create a new company. Like I say, it doesn't necessarily actually need to be a company. So this company that I'm going to do training for now is going to be purely for blended learning. So I'm going to call this my company name, which is Jones and Co. And then I'm going to call it Blended Paediatric. The idea being that I only want certain people to do the paediatric course and have access to my online units. If I wanted, I could give it a login name. This would be a website URL. So it would direct people to protrainings.uk and then /corporate and /Jones and Co, or /Jones and Co Paediatric. You just type it in there, the bit of the extension that you want after the word corporate. So in this instance, I'm going to call it Jones and Co. You can't have symbols in there. And it needs to be all one word, because it is going to form part of the URL, as you can see beneath it where the example is. If you've got credits on your main company that you want the company to be able to use, you can automatically draw it. But what that does mean is that people would be able to maybe log in and just start training without you being aware of it if they're due to recertify. So I'm going to leave that one blank. Add contact info for company. It says this is optional. That again is just purely for your own database purposes, so it doesn't actually go anywhere. You might want to put in who you'd normally call and their phone number, just so that you've got it handy and all in one place. And you can also add the company's address. As this is just for blended learning, I'm going to leave all that blank. I'm then going to click create company, and this creates a company on the Pro Training system, but shows that it's linked to you under your companies. So if they ever call up, we can immediately see that this company deals with you and direct them back to you, should they just click on the phone number on the website or the email address on the website. The next item that it's asking is for a company administrator. You can create a company administrator if you want the company administrator to log in and purchase units for the staff and set the staff up. If you do this, when that company administrator gets their login details, the first thing they will be required to do is to decide whether you have permission to see their data or not. What will then happen is, if they say yes, that's fine, you will be able to purchase units for the company, you will be able to see the units on the dashboard, you will be able to see the company staff on the dashboard. If for any reason they don't log in, or they completely bypass that page and just go straight on to clicking on another button, then it might be that you can't then see this company that you've created on your system. So you would then need to contact them and say you'll need to manage the company, If they don't want you to have access to the data, you'll need to purchase the units, you'll need to add the staff, or otherwise you might just need to point out to them that they need to log in and grant you the necessary permissions if they still wish you to be able to do everything for them. So for this example, I'm literally just trying to set up a blended learning company where I'm just going to purchase units for any people to be able to use, but I want to link people to this blended learning, and it's going to be like a holding company. So I'm in this instance not going to create a company administrator. I'm going to click skip this step. The next thing it does is it gives you the option to add courses for this particular organisation. Now what it's doing here is it's picking up on all the courses that I've got on my main company dashboard. As I only want this company to see the paediatric, I'm just going to remove those units. You'll see that it's also giving you the custom URL that we've set at the very top of the page, and it gives me the opportunity to add an address again. So with this, you can edit the company anytime. You can change the courses they have, you can add an administrator they have, you can always go back into it and do more to it. Bear with me one moment while I just delete my courses. And as you see, it's just as simple as clicking the red X next to any courses that you don't want them to see. If I was going to edit the price, I would have just edited with using the pencil next to the item. So here I'm going to add courses for discount, and what that really means is to add courses that this particular company can see. It doesn't necessarily have to be a discount, but that's what it assumes that I'm going to do. So I'm going to select the paediatric online part. So I tend to type it in the search box rather than go through all the photographic icons, but you can do this any which way you want. And then it gives me the option to give them a discount if they are purchasing over 5, or to add it so that they pay for 1 at full price, which means that they can buy individual units then from their company dashboard, which saves them having to buy 5, but it is charging them the higher price. So they're the different prices that you can set if the organisation is purchasing these units. Now for blended learning, I'm probably going to be buying the units for my students that are coming in so that I can charge the student just one whole price for the whole course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up like this so that it's full price, but then once I've completed this part, I'm going to email ProTrainings at support@protrainings.uk and explain that I've set up a company for blended learning and that I'm going to need the price changed to my instructor discounted rate. But if this is just for a general company, then I would have it set so that they can purchase 1 unit at full price, or I can leave it where they purchase 5 at 10% off and subsequently increase the price and earn commission on any individual courses that they may buy. Okay, company pays for all means that that particular company administrator, when they log in, can purchase courses for their staff. There's also a way that if you're setting up a company, that you can do it so that each employee pays, which means that you can set the price that one of their employees, when they've got their login details, can then log in and purchase the course themselves. So in most cases, you just leave it as the company pays for all because it's going to be the company administrator that would be doing it. Some beauty organisations have it where they have trainees who log in and purchase and buy all their own training. So in that instance, you'd leave it as employee pays because the administrator would just set up the people and then they'd pay for their own training. To then get it to save, you click Save Discounts, and this adds that particular course option to the company dashboard.